Is that all you got?
Yeah, it's all I need. This right here is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a pocket-sized gimbal camera and powerful vlogging setup combined in one. It's got a 1-inch CMOS sensor, brand new 2-inch rotatable screen so you can see exactly what you're filming both landscape and vertical. It films 4K 10-bit video up to 120 frames per second. You got D-Log and HLG color modes. You can easily get the desired look you're going for with the new magnetic filters such as the ultra-wide, ND, and mist filter. And you got flexible recording for audio because you can either use the onboard omnidirectional 3-mic system or you can use up to 2 DJI wireless mics whether you're vlogging alone or doing an interview. At least this is what I read on the DJI website. So let's see for ourselves what the experience is actually like shooting with the DJI Pocket 3 because a lot of times specs are one thing, but the actual real life experience can be a whole other story. It's -8 outside. Time to brave the cold.
No.
On me. I'm not ready to go outside.
Let's go.
Did you get the shot?
Nope.
But you tried.
I tried.
That's the main thing. You're
best.
trying. That's photography for you. You take like 1,000 shots, one's good, but if you didn't take 1,000 shots, you probably wouldn't get that one good one. So right now we're vlogging with the Pocket 3. This thing's sweet. I very rarely use gimbals, so be able to have this thing that's just constantly steady, so small, compact. And I'm really liking this wide angle lens. It's giving that nice wide point of view for vlogging. This is a wide angle lens that you can just take off.
Oh.
Magnetic clip. We've reached our destination. Look at that. These trees are huge. All the way up. What do you think about this spot?
Amazing. Take some portraits.
I get to be a model for once. That's what we call snow shower in Finland. He literally gave himself a snow bath or a shower right there.
Your turn.
It's my turn to do this now. Look at this tracking though. It's just tracking so nicely in my face. I can start vlogging with this all the time. Just like doo, 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 doo. Okay, so you've heard the specs about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, but what was the real life shooting experience with this camera? And again, I just want to reiterate that this video is not sponsored by DJI in any way. I actually went out and bought the Pocket 3 myself, but this video is sponsored by Artlist. More on that later. Now, if I'm completely honest with you guys, before I bought the Pocket 3, my expectations were not high. I was curious, but I was not expecting much. And honestly, I was actually a bit skeptical, and that's because of 2 things. The first reason, I was worried that this is just another gimmicky camera. I just thought maybe they marketed it really well and the specs were really exciting, but then the real life user experience was gonna be a huge flop. And the second reason why I was hesitant was because I was worried that is this just gonna be another gimbal experience that I've had in the past. I don't enjoy gimbals. Every time I pick up a gimbal and start shooting with them, after a few minutes, I'm just like, get rid of the gimbal and just film handheld because I feel like the gimbal just gets in my way. Now, partly it might just be because I'm not that experienced with gimbals, but I just prefer to shoot handheld and really have that run and gun style shooting. But after the first few days of filming with the Pocket 3, it was actually the total opposite of my expectations. First, the Pocket 3 is super user-friendly and easy to use. If you don't have a filmmaking background or you haven't created videos before, this is probably the easiest it's gonna get when it comes to filming videos. You don't necessarily need to know much about filmmaking or video camera settings because the moment you just turn on the Pocket 3 and start filming, you're already getting a pretty decent image. As well, the Pocket 3 is gonna do all the stabilization for you because of its own gimbal, meaning you're not gonna have any shaky footage. And the active track on the Pocket 3 is gonna always make sure you're in focus, so when you're vlogging, you don't have to worry about is the shot gonna be out of focus or not. So literally, if you're vlogging yourself, all you gotta do is just turn the camera towards you, hold it up in the air, and just start filming. The Pocket 3 is gonna do the rest for you. If you do plan on doing a lot of vlogging with the Pocket 3, I would highly recommend using this magnetic wide angle clip because it's gonna take it from a 20mm focal length to a 14mm focal length, which is perfect when you're vlogging. When it came to the image quality of the Pocket 3, I was actually surprisingly impressed. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much from such a small little camera and sensor, but when I threw the footage into Final Cut Pro with the D-Log M, you're actually getting a lot of flexibility in post to color grade and push into the direction that you'd like. I mean, look at just some of the before and after of these clips that I've color graded with my Cinema LUT collection. In my opinion, these look pretty dang good for a $600 camera. You got nice skin tones, nice colors, and overall nice image. Is it perfect? No. But for what this camera is, it looks good. Another thing that was interesting with the Pocket 3 is that most action cameras or cameras with smaller sensors really struggle in low light, but because the Pocket 3 has its own gimbal, it's not needing to use digital stabilization to stabilize the footage, which often causes, for example, action cameras to be really mushy and blurry. But with the Pocket 3, I literally filmed the ISO 16000 and it still was usable. I don't know, is there some sort of processing going as well inside, or is it just because of the gimbal? But the Pocket 3 does surprisingly well in low light conditions, which is nice because if you're vlogging, you never know, are you vlogging during the day or in the evening? The lighting is changing, so you want to have a really versatile camera. Another nice feature of the Pocket 3 is that it has a built-in receiver for audio, meaning you can just use your DJI Mic 2 that comes with the Creator Combo, and it's gonna automatically sync together and have great audio. If you do have an extra $150, I'd highly recommend going for the Pocket 3 Creator Combo over just the basic Pocket 3 package, because you're getting a lot of extra value in the Creator Combo with the DJI Mic 2, the wide angle lens, you're getting extra battery module with the tripod. There's just a lot of accessories that make the Pocket 3 so much better, and it's only $150 more, so highly recommend grabbing that. That's what I did. All right, so this is what the Pocket 3 sounds like with just the built-in mic. I'm right now recording to the Pocket 3. Now we're gonna turn on the Mic 2. Right away it connects. It says DJI Mic 2 transmitter 1 connected and used for audio input. 60% battery. All right, so now we're gonna turn on recording on the Pocket 3, and I'm filming with the DJI Mic 2, holding it here. It also comes with a little magnet, so you can just attach it to your shirt, for example, like this, but I'm doing it this way. I'm gonna hold it right now. And this is what it's sounding like right now. In my opinion, this sounds really good, and it's nice because then you can just drop the Pocket 3 down somewhere. You can walk around, get like wider shots. I, for example, saw my one friend who's using this for snowboarding, so he would put it down. He had the DJI Mic 2 attached to him. He's snowboarding, getting nice of those atmosphere sounds while getting a really wide shot. So that was really cool. So you get really creative with this setup. With the DJI Mic 2, it's also 32-bit float, which means that basically if it's too quiet, you can still increase the volume without adding noticeable noise. And as well, if it's too loud, it's not going to be clipping. Whereas a normal microphone would clip, but with 32 float, you can go loud noises, and then you can whisper. And you can just adjust the volume afterwards in post, and it's still gonna sound pretty good. Of course, you want the best quality, but sometimes, you know, you're filming action sports or you're snowboarding, you start screaming or yelling all of a sudden, and you don't want the audio to be clipping, because I often say, you can get away with bad looking video footage. You can't get away with bad sounding audio. So make sure your audio is working well. So yeah, for $669 US, you are getting a lot in the Pocket 3 Creator Combo. You're getting a gimbal, camera, and audio all in one kit. You're essentially ticking off all the boxes when it comes to vlogging and filming social media content. High quality video, check. Stabilized, check. Good audio, check. Consumer friendly that anyone can just pick it up and start filming, check. Now, before we talk about some of the cons and I share who I think the Pocket 3 would best be for and not for, I wanna give a shout out to this episode's sponsor, Artlist, who's been a long-term partner of my channel all year long. If you want content that stands out, you don't want just music, you want great music. You want songs that captivate your audience or that are so catchy and feel good that when they see your video, they're just humming that video all day long afterwards. And that's the type of music Artlist has. All the music, all the sound effects in this video has been from Artlist. And right now they're actually running a holiday sale where if you use the link in my description, you're gonna get 2 months free with the yearly package and as well 10% off. As well, because Artlist has been a long-term sponsor of my channel, we're actually be doing a giveaway at the same time where 2 lucky people are gonna win a year-long subscription to Artlist Pro Max. In order to participate in this giveaway, all you gotta do is make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, to Artlist channel, and as well, comment below your favorite artist from Artlist. I'm so excited about this giveaway because it's awesome to be giving back to you guys before Christmas. So make sure you participate in the giveaway, and as well, sign up using the link to get 2 months free and 10% off. That is if you don't win the giveaway, because only 2 of you guys are gonna win. I'm sorry, I wish I could give it to all of you guys, but 2 are gonna win. The rest of you guys, 2 months free, 10% off, great deal. All right, so cons of the Pocket 3. The first con I'm gonna say is durability. I mean, it feels like it's built well, but I can see a lot of ways that this Pocket 3 could go wrong. First, this screen. I've already heard complaints that people have said that somehow it's gotten just stuck, which is unfortunate. And I feel like if you're just moving back and forth this screen, something might break over time. Another way that the Pocket 3 can go really wrong is that it's not weather sealed. So if you're filming an area that's, you know, moist or it's raining or you drop this, it's gone, it's gonna break. As well, for example, this gimbal, if you drop it on the gimbal head, I have a feeling this thing is just gonna snap or break. And if you end up somehow scratching your lens on the camera, again, you're screwed. So there's a lot of ways that the Pocket 3 could go wrong. And if someone's paying $600+ for this, it would be a shame that it breaks and is not usable anymore. So that's one thing I'm a little bit worried about or concerned. The second con about the Pocket 3 is that they advertise that this films both landscape and vertical. And you would assume that it's similar to, for example, the Mini 4 Pro, where the gimbal actually, you know, moves vertically, but it doesn't. When you're filming from landscape to vertical, it's actually giving you a cropped version. So when you're filming vertical, it's 3K, and then when you're filming in landscape, it's 4K. As well, if you're filming in vertical, you can't use modes like the slow motion or the low light. So it's kind of weird that they're advertising that it can film landscape and vertical, but then you can't do everything in vertical, or you can do some things but not as high quality. I wish they would have just used the same technology or the hardware from the Mini 4 Pro, where the gimbal actually just goes vertically and you actually get the whole sensor readout when filming vertical, because it's important when you're filming social media content. Another con is that I wish they just had the exposure features right here on the main screen, but instead you have to always swipe over and go here and change the exposure and things like that. It's just a big process to go and do that. Honestly, with the nature of the Pocket 3 and you just want this to be a camera that's easy to use, I probably will just leave it on auto because it's just a hassle to go to these side screens. And as well, with, for example, the ISO, it just jumps from a lot of the ISOs, whereas the cameras like my Sony a7 III, you can really dial in which ISO you're using. Again, I understand this is more of a consumer camera for beginners, and maybe you just don't want to give so many features that are more professional because it can just get overwhelming. But yeah, I wish there was just more control and that it was easier to get to this menu and features in the Pocket 3 rather than have to swipe and go to different features to change the shutter speed or the ISO and things like that. And last, I wish the Pocket 3 had gamma display assist, which means when you're filming in D-Log-M, it's really flat, desaturated, uncontrasted, and it's hard to see how is it looking exposure-wise and with your white balance. So a lot of cameras have a thing called gamma display assist, which essentially allows you to record the video in that very flat log picture profile, but you're seeing a more contrasty in saturation version on your screen, which helps you then to film. But the Pocket 3 doesn't have that. But maybe they could add that in a firmware, I'm not sure, but that would be a great feature to have in the Pocket 3. And the last con of the Pocket 3 was that I noticed when you're doing following shots, there was a lot of Z-axis bobbing, which is to be expected when it's such a small gimbal. But yeah, that is a con for the Pocket 3. It's not unbearable, but it's there. So is this a perfect camera? Of course not. But it's still a very impressive gimbal camera vlogging setup for only $600. So who is this camera for and not for? Well, first, I would say that the Pocket 3 is great for someone who wants to get into filming and wants that ease of use, that you don't want to have to learn and get into all the nitty-gritty. You just want to be able to turn on the camera and just start shooting and still get a great stabilized footage coming from it. And that's what you're getting with the Pocket 3. As well, I can see the Pocket 3 be great for people who love vlogging. Maybe you're a travel vlogger or you're just filming your daily life and you don't want to carry on this huge obtrusive camera. The Pocket 3 is great. You can just take it out of your pocket, film some shots, put it back in your pocket. It's gonna be looking stabilized, it's gonna look high quality, and it's just so easy to use. So this is really great for vlogging BTS videos. As well, for people who are shooting social media content where you don't need the most high quality video, the fact that this can film both landscape and vertical, and you can see how it's gonna be cropped and looking, I think that's a nice feature for people who are creating social media content. So who is the Pocket 3 not for? Well, first I would say for anyone who's a photographer. If you're hoping to take some photos with the Pocket 3, I am not expecting too much out of the Pocket 3. So if you're a photographer or you wanna be a hybrid shooter where you're doing photo and video, don't get the Pocket 3. The second type of person who this camera is not for is for someone who wants a future-proof camera. So if you want a camera that's gonna last many years, be able to take a beating, you probably don't wanna get the Pocket 3. Or for example, if you want the longevity of a camera where you can buy new lenses, get different focal lengths, you're not getting that with the Pocket 3, so I wouldn't recommend then this for you. And lastly, I would say the Pocket 3 is not for someone who wants to do professional video work, but most likely if you're in that boat, you already know that this is not for you. But the Pocket 3 is great for people who want to vlog, create social media content, who want that ease of use, and want nice stabilized footage without having to put a lot of work into it. So final verdict, will the Pocket 3 have a home in my camera bag? Well, I definitely would say when I'm traveling, yes. I could definitely see this be great when I'm, at the airport or on a trip. And, I never liked having my big A7S III with a microphone and GorillaPod. It just takes a whole bunch of space. And especially now having a kid, it's just not practical having my hands tied up with the camera. Whereas this, I could just pull it out, get some nice stabilized, good looking footage, put it back in my pocket, take it out again, flip the screen, ready to go. So I definitely could see myself using this for travel vlogs, just for daily vlogging, BTS footage. Those are all great ways for me to use the Pocket 3. So yes, I can see myself using the Pocket 3 in the future. For anyone who does already own the Pocket 3, I would love to hear your thoughts on it down below. And as well, if any of you guys have questions, write them down below and I'm gonna try my best to answer them. All right, we're out of here. Merry Christmas to all of you guys.